I look like I'm going to be looking out a window with a turtleneck on, like, beat me into submission. Hi friends, welcome back to Beauty and Bee Movies with me, Pale Kale. I feel like I'm running. I'm going fast. I'm hungry. I'm thinking about a snack. I think that's why. The topic of conversation today is going to be 1988's Night of the Demons. Basically, this is about a party at a mortuary that goes awry when a seance dredges up a demon that picks off the characters one by one. Talk about a party foul. This one I have done before and I did not post. I hated how it turned out and I decided not to post it. I was very irritated the whole time filming it, and I'm so glad that I waited because I had so much fun with this one today. I also want to note that today I did something a little bit different with the makeup portion. Every product that I used on my face today is $25 or less. That's not to say my face altogether is 25 or less. Absolutely the fuck not. It is not. But every individual product. I wanted to do 20 or less, but there's two products that I used, my foundation and my pomade for my eyebrows, that are each 25 bucks. And I could have found a cheaper foundation and I could have used the e.l.f. brow pomade that is a dupe for the Anastasia one. So if you want cheaper options, like if you want to achieve a similar look but with cheaper options, there are more affordable options out there. I just honestly have spent so much money lately on foundation and I didn't want to buy another foundation that I may or may not use and may or may not like. The About Face Performer foundation, this guy here, I love it. It's one of my favorites. It's also one of the only brands I've ever found fair olive complexion items. Usually if you're olive tone, you just have to wear a neutral or a cool or whatever and make it work. This is an actual true olive. You can see the green shift like even through the bottle, and I love that. So I decided to use that one. I think that's the most inexpensive foundation I have, and yes, I know that's sad that all of my other foundations are more than $25. I have a problem. I need help. I get it. If you are curious to see what I used, it will be listed in the description box down below. I just wanted to do something a little bit different with this video. Since I talk about low budget movies, why not use low budget makeup? Just because it's cheaper, that doesn't mean it's not as good. This, like I said, this foundation is like my favorite foundation or one of my favorites, 25 bucks. There's some other products I used here today too that I absolutely love that are very, very cost efficient and very affordable. If you'd like to see me do my makeup with some low budget options and you'd like to hear me talk about 1988's Night of the Demons, keep watching. Hello. I was not planning on filming today, so here we are. We're out here doing it. Woo! Let's rip into Night of the Demons. Yeah? I'm gonna prime my face first because every time I try to do my intro while I'm priming my face, it is a mess. And I don't want that. Holy long title sequence. The way this one starts, it's like the long... I sat there, I was like, do I take a smoke break? Like, this is a long title sequence. But we finally jump into it and we meet this old-timer who's got a very cryptic message.
Damn rotten kids. They'll get what they deserve. Yes, they'll get what they deserve.
Well, damn. That's one way to start a movie. Right off the bat, we meet our main squeeze, our good girl Judy over here, and her boy toy Jay. I feel like I'm saying that so like, her boy toy Jay. But like her boy toy Jay, we also meet here. He's kind of, I thought he was her boyfriend, but I think they're actually just like kind of casually dating maybe. I don't know. It's not super clear. This is another side note. I love the foundation from About Face, but stop with the spatula thing. Wet n Wild does the same thing. I'm actually gonna toss this one because it's really like dead. Like I've used it to the end of its life, but I have a brand new one, so we're gonna use her too. Also, this is the only product that's gonna be in this video that is $25. I think everything else I use is gonna be less than 20 actually. I could not find a foundation that I really liked that was less than 20. I know that that sounds bougie and ridiculous of me, like, you know, you've changed. I have. I used to wear way cheaper foundation, but I don't do that anymore. So I'm not saying it doesn't exist. There probably are really nice foundations out there. Actually, I know, I'm sure there are that are under 25. I just couldn't find them and I didn't feel like buying a new foundation. So I didn't want to keep spending money on foundation. That's all. We meet good girl Judy and her boy toy Jay, who is definitely a teenager and certainly not 28 years old. Jay has decided, they kind of have a plan to go to this Halloween dance that night, and Jay has decided, that sounds lame, we're going to skip it, and we're going to go to this party that's held in a mortuary held by this kind of, you know, misfit girl, Angela, who seems like a great time to me. I thought, like, damn, that sounds like fun. I was low-key kind of jealous. A party at a mortuary? Sign me the fuck up. Sounds like a good time, especially for Halloween. Like, I mean, for me, you know, I'd be like, any time of year, I'm down. For Halloween, it's kind of a kick-ass location. Angela is throwing this party, and that's what's making Judy so hesitant about it. She's like, I don't really want to hang out with this Angela chick. Like, she seems weird. Judy seems very, like, by the book, like, prissy, like, you know. Well, definitely you'll hear my thoughts about her character. Okay, see, this foundation's looking, it's looking better. It does look a little bit gold on camera, which is very interesting because in person, it literally is like seamless. So I don't know what the hell's going on. We also meet Judy's little brother who like hits on her.
Wow, prodigious boobies, sis. If you keep on going, you'll have to hire someone just to tie your shoes.
This kid is a fucking gremlin. He looks like Zach Morris, first of all. Let's just get that out of the way. Which, honestly, I feel bad for Zach Morris even saying that. This kid is just, he's wild now. I have so many siblings. We do not talk to each other like that. That's so fucking weird. I was not a fan of that shit. That's your older sister. Don't talk about her boobs. Freaking creep. Oh God, I forgot about this. But she's also wearing like a super see-through bra at this part. So little dude over here totally saw her nipples. Ugh. God. that shit's gonna piss me off. I do not like that. In the next scene, we meet Sal, who is, I think he's Judy's ex. He stops by, he's like, hey, what's good? Where's Judy at? And her little brother is refusing to give up her location because he's like, no, I'm not gonna tell you where my older sister's at. And Sal offers to make it worth his while.
It's a nice chunk of change to loosen your lips a little.
If you thought that little bro over here was gonna sell his sister up the river for a measly quarter, you're dead wrong. He would not do that.
Where's the friggin' party?
But for $1, he cannot refuse. So he does tell Sal where Judy's going. This is a lot of concealer. And this is a very full coverage. This is the Kimchi Chic concealer. Obviously, mine is very well loved. It's like my favorite concealer. Full coverage, and I feel like no one talks about it, and it's crazy. It's like $13 too. Next we meet Angela, who I kind of mentioned earlier. She's the one who's throwing the party. She's gathering some very fine party favors, very discreetly. She's got a little bit of a lookout over here though, and her best friend Suzanne. While Angela leaves with like half the store right in front of the cashiers, Suzanne is taking one for the team and kind of distracting her friend so that she can steal the booze and all of that. Also, it's worth noting that Angela gives me huge Nancy from The Craft vibes. They're very similar, and I love that. I actually really like Angela's character. I am willing to admit when I'm wrong, and I'm willing to admit when I put on too much concealer. This is a lot of concealer. That's full coverage. Okay. Meanwhile, back at Judy's pad, Jay's picking her up, and little bro is there to continue to be creepy.
She's a real nice girl.
Yeah, are you dating her for her personality? Because she has big cha-chas.
That's the last time we'll see the little brother. Thank God, right? We don't need to see him anymore. I swear this kid needs therapy. He is unhinged. So, you know, bye. I just wanted to mention that he is in this scene, but this is the last we're going to see of him. So the next scene, we have a ton of characters to meet. I'm going to be throwing names at you like rapid fire. Hopefully my lovely editing team, Noah, will put the pictures in right here. I'm just going to, because that'll help us remember, right? So we've got Stooge, who is a buffoon with a pig nose. We've got Roger, who's dressed up like a pirate. And then we've got Helen. Just plain Helen. And we've also got Max and we've got Franny. They're like a couple. Max has a little bit of a character. He's like obsessed with lore and like talks about the mortuary and like its history and stuff. He's kind of like a little history nerd. So he has a little bit of a character. Franny is literally just wallpaper. Like she has barely any lines. She's just there to be Max's girlfriend, I guess. So cute. Holy shit, that's a lot of characters, I realize. We'll circle back. We'll hear from all of them. I'll kind of talk about them as we go. Hopefully we can remember, you know? Okay, so let's just recap. We've got party hostess Angela, her bestie Suzanne. We've got goody two-shoes Judy, boy toy Jay. Oh, actually boring Jay, who isn't wearing a costume. I hate when people do that. That's lame. Grow up. Put on like cat ears or something. We've also got greaser Sal, pig nose Stooge, pirate Roger, boring Helen, and then we've got the lovebirds Max and Franny. I think that's everybody, yeah? And then, you know, Zach Morris, but he's gone. So bye, you know. Let me just get some powder out. This is this e.l.f. powder, and I actually really like it. It does a good job. It's no Anastasia powder. Obviously, if you look at my description box, you will see that I use that powder almost every time I get ready. But the e.l.f. one is good. It doesn't oxidize like crazy bad like most fair powders do, so that's fun. And it's like $9 or something like that. I don't know. Don't fact check me. I don't know off the top of my head, but I think it's like $9. So at this scene, everybody just kind of rolls up on Hull House, which is that mortuary I mentioned in the beginning where the party's kind of happening. Everybody's rolling up. And my favorite part of the scene was Sal drinking a beer in a coffin, because that's just kind of metal. Like, I loved that. It was like respect to his character, you know? Yeah, everybody's grooving and having a good time, especially Suzanne, who all the guys are like lusting after. She's really going for it, and the guys they're sniffing. They're liking what they see, you know? They're enjoying her. Honestly, the party seems to be pretty bitchin' until the power goes out, and then we lose our music, which Stooge has a super normal response.
I can't live without my music.
Same, honestly, fair point. Angela decides at that time, you know what? This is a perfect opportunity for us to do a seance in a mortuary. I love this girl. She's so fun. I'd hang out with her, but everybody else is kind of, they're not super convinced. The reception is a little lukewarm, a little tepid, you know? Remember Helen, she's, you know, Beige Helen. She's the personification of the color beige. She does have a pretty good point.
Isn't that a little chancy? I mean, this is Halloween, the night when all the creepy things are supposed to stalk the earth. I mean, there's no telling what we'll dredge up, especially in this old place.
Fair point, Boring Helen. You are not wrong. It's kind of a bad idea, but I kind of love it. Let's just have a good time, all right, Helen? Also, I want to mention here, too, you're probably thinking, oh, Kayla's just going to do some, like, you know, super ultra simple beige eye. Not on your life. Honestly, I'm so excited that Clean Girl is dead or dying this year. That's what they say. Evil dies tonight. I'm just kidding. If you like Clean Girl, the aesthetic, I'm happy for you. I just feel like your time has come for you to put away your clear mascara and to put away your pale pink lip balm and let it go. Let us maximalist gals have the floor again, just for a year, please. It's literally been Clean Girl bullshit for so long now. I'm so sick of it. Anyway, Boring Helen must be psychic or something, because she sees something real dicey in that mirror. I was trying to focus on what Helen was saying here, but this was the part where I really started to notice just how whiny Judy is. Remember Judy? She's like our main kind of gal. She's got main character energy, I guess, apparently according to the people who created this film, because she's kind of our main squeeze. She's so fucking whiny, dude. I feel bad, honestly, for calling Helen Boring Helen. So I'm gonna stop here and we're gonna focus on whiny Judy. I'm gonna point my ire that way instead. Sorry, Boring Helen, you know? God, I'm saying you know so much, and I'm aware of that, but tigers can't change their stripes. This is who I am. I really want to try to at least get the semblance of a brow on before I continue. Also, I am not using an affordable brow product either. It's just the foundation and the pomade. I always use Dipbrow to do my brows. And I know e.l.f. makes a dupe for it. So if you really want to try Dipbrow, but you are like, I'm not paying $25, which is totally fair, on a brow product, just get the e.l.f. dupe. I have not tried that one. I've only ever, not only ever, but for the last like 6 years, I've always used Dipbrow. Sometimes I'll spice it up with like other brow products. For the most part, Dipbrow is my homegirl. If you want to try it, just try the e.l.f. version first. Maybe, I don't know, spoil yourself with the Anastasia one, because it's so good. It does get dry after a while, but it still applies, so, you know. I don't even know if I'll get all the way through this before it gets dry and I toss it, which sounds bad, but that doesn't happen for like a year. This will last you a whole year. It's crazy. Anyway, let's continue. Well, the kids are all trying to calm Helen down. A demon escapes out of the basement, so, hey, yikes. Sorry, you know? God damn it, that's like the 6th you know. You know. you know, 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 you know. But anyway, a demon escapes out of the basement and goes to possess Suzanne, she's just trying to like gussy up a little bit over here. She gets possessed by the demon, so maximum bummer, man. Sweet Ange over here knows right away something ain't right. She's kind of hip to this game, you know, this is kind of her area of expertise. So she knows pretty much immediately something's going on. Okay, I'm back. I think this is as good as my brows are gonna get. This one is a little bit, this is shorter than this one. I needed to fuck with my brows a little bit, slash completely do them off screen. I think they're okay. They're not too bad. The annoying thing is that this one is fine. Like, this one is good. It's just, this one is like really, it seems really dark. Maybe I'm delusional. Maybe it's not that bad. So Angela knows that something ain't right away. You know, the room got cold, there was a smell, weird noises, all signs of a demon possession, obviously. You know, we all know this. Probably. Anyone who watches horror movies, or at least possession genre horror movies, does know. Those are all signs of a demon. Wouldn't be a horror movie if anybody believed her though, right? Stooge makes a really good point here.
Solid. I mean, come on! A little Ange here is just trying to put the old boog on us, okay?
Yeah, nobody takes Angela's worries seriously, so big mistake. Huge. Not everybody is ignorant to Angela's concerns, though. Helen and Roger, remember Helen and then Pirate Roger? They want to get the hell out of Dodge because they believe Angela. They're like, listen, if there's one thing that this chick knows, it's demons. We're bouncing. So everybody kind of makes fun of them, but they're like, we're going to leave. So they leave. Honestly, smart. I'm not mad at it. Everybody else decides they are going to split up so that they can mingle. Genitally, if you will. I don't even know if genitally is a word. Genitals. So yeah, we got Jay and Judy. They go off to do their thing. We got Max and Franny. Remember, they're the little couple. They're going to go off and do their thing. So Suzanne, remember her, she wants to go find the John, and she decides that she is going to take Stooge with her. Remember Stooge? I mean, they literally call him a fat pig, but I don't want to say that. That seems mean. She decides to take Stooge with her, and over the meathead Sal over here, he is shocked about that. He's like, what the hell? Suzanne has a lovely retort here.
Stooge is a fat pig.
Maybe I'm in the mood for pork tonight.
And then Stooge also has something to add to the conversation. Love that. That's kind of one of my favorite parts of the movie, I'm not gonna lie. Before leaving for the porcelain throne, Suzanne decides to pass the well, she didn't decide. She doesn't really have a choice, you know? I gotta stop saying no! Suzanne, before leaving for the porcelain throne, actually passes the demon to Angela via mouth. So, orally, she passes Angela the demon. So now Angela is also possessed. Cool. We're doing a lovely purple look. I've tried to do purple on this channel, and the 2 videos where I did purple, I have not uploaded because they were not good. So purple's kind of cursed on my channel. So we're gonna hope and pray that we can make the purple work. So shit's about to get crazy. I thought this was kind of a huge bummer because Angela's kind of my favorite. I just like her. I like her aesthetic. I like her vibe. I feel like we'd be friends, you know? Honestly, this video should have a you know counter. I have to stop. Okay, Roger the pirate and Helen, they go outside because remember, they want to leave. They don't want to be there anymore. They trust Angela, which you should. I mean, maybe not now because, you know, she's a demon. But at the time, they trusted her and they wanted to split. So they go outside to try to find the car and they can't find the gate that they came in through. They're like, what? Where the hell's this gate? Yeah, so Helen's not feeling too confident.
Off of yours. Shit. Hell my ass. There is a gate here. There is. Oh, sweet mother. Helen?
And then all of a sudden, Helen's gone. Dun, dun, dun. Back inside, Jay and Snooty Judy are getting down to business, and Judy kind of changes her mind. She's like, actually, I don't want to do this, which is totally fine. You can do that, obviously, consent, you know, and all of that. She says, I don't want to do this. Like, I'm a good little girl, you know, I don't want to do this. So Jay bails on her to go find Nookie elsewhere. He's like, I only asked you here because I thought I was gonna get some, which is gross. Like, come on, Jay. Put on a costume and stop clowning around. He goes off to find some sweet, sweet lovin' elsewhere. And don't forget about good old, remember Suze and Suzanne and Stooge, or Stews, that's their ship name. They went to the bathroom together. Remember, Stooge was kind of like, oh, she picked me over Sal. Well, I mean, I don't think it really mattered. I think she just wanted someone to possess since she's, possessed. Suzanne over here is kind of having a rough night. She's been in the bathroom for a while. Stooge is like, girl, I need to get in there. I gotta rock a piss. He tries to get in there, but Suzanne's kind of taking her sweet, sweet time. So that's kind of what's going on with them. The only reason I really mentioned it was because it's gonna come back. We're gonna see why Suzanne is taking so long in the dawn. It will circle back. So back with Angela and Sal, they're like the last two stragglers, basically. Sal got kind of the shaft when Stooge was picked over him by Suzanne to kind of go get a little rinky-dink going on. And Angela, I mean, nobody's gonna pick her, unfortunately. She seems to be kind of like the misfit in any given situation. So she's still there. And remember, Angela just got possessed by Suzanne. She, gave her that. She passed the demon on to Angela via mouth. Angela puts on a nice little show for Sal. And it was also kind of a creepy part because like the flashing lights, because the strobe light starts working again, the music starts working again, like everything kicks back on, because remember it went down earlier, kicks back on, the demons want to party now, and Angela does this kind of creepy but kind of sick dance. Yeah, I'm not mad at it at all. It was kind of creepy and sultry and kind of trippy. Like, I loved this part. I was into it. I don't know about Sal. He seems a little creeped out. So I don't know how Sal necessarily feels about this little dance. He seems kind of freaked out, to be honest with you. I think he's kind of scared of Angela. I think he doesn't want to fuck with her, which I wouldn't either. Angela knows her shit, and she's not fucking around. Love her, support her. Let me just get into this eye a little bit more. I don't want to get too far into the movie and then like not have any of the makeup done. This was the point too where I noticed Angela would be a really cool Halloween costume. I feel like I've never seen anybody be her before, or maybe I just didn't know, because I hadn't seen this movie until semi-recently, I guess, and I realized how freaking great it is. I love her hair. It's so, like, wild. She's kind of interesting. Angela does her little dance, and Stooge returns to give some very sage wisdom that I appreciated.
Don't worry, Sal. It ain't the weird ones you gotta watch out for. God, didn't your mom teach you nothing about women?
And he also wants to dance with Angela. He's like, you know what? She seems like a good time. We're going to party. So he decides to dance with her. Love that. Love that Stooge has an open mind. He's into it. Sal pieces the fuck out. He's like, I don't want to dance. I'm not into that at all. That's not my scene. And he probably left at a good time too, because right after he leaves, Angela grabs Stooge's face and passes the demon to him as well. So now we got Suzanne, we got Sweet Ange, and we got Stooge. They're all possessed by this demon. Oh, I forgot too. Angela kind of starts like macking on Stooge. Like she kind of grabs onto him. That's what makes him receptive to it, I guess. I think he thinks that they're gonna like hook up maybe, because I think Stooge is not super picky. And I guess Angela just couldn't resist his pig nose and mullet. She was like, that really does it for me. I don't know. I think it's more so that she wanted to pass the demon to him. Anyway, she does this, it's basically like mono, but worse. That's why you don't do a seance in a mortuary. I mean, I could have told you that. Not that I've ever done it, but I'm not going to, especially after watching this. It'd be a fun time for like a little party or whatever, because, ooh, spooky, scary skeletons, but you don't want to be doing seances. I don't think you should really just like mess with the dead in general. I think just like let the dead rest. I think that's a good rule of thumb. Meanwhile, Sal, who he just left the scene, right? He was like, absolutely not. He runs back into Suzanne, who's still having a rough night.
I can't seem to get it right.
And then we've also got Max and Franny, our little lovebirds over here. They find a coffin to connect in. They're gonna bang. Sal keeps it walking when he sees Suzanne. Obviously, he's like, this lady's going through something. I'm gonna keep it moving. But Jay, remember boring, no costume Jay, who kind of bailed on Judy because she wouldn't like give him head or whatever? He runs into Suzanne, the possessed Suzanne, and they decide, you know, might as well. That's rude to me. Like, you came with someone else, don't come with someone else, you know? So Jay and Suzanne start fooling around, even though she's clearly losing it. And so is Angela, because we cut back to her and she's just holding her hands in the fire.
Just warming my hands in the fire.
Poor Angela. Like, I was bummed about this because I really like her character. I feel like we didn't get enough time with her, though we will get more time with her, but she's obviously different than the way she started. Let's put it that way. I'm going to be doing a little bit of like a halo eye here, so I'm going to have to really kind of focus on that. I'm using Colourpop shadows because they are super, super affordable and super good. And I really want to use this little single shadow I have because I've never used this one. It's a green and purple duochrome. It's from the Pokemon collab with Colourpop, and I hope you can see it on camera. It has a nice shift. Ooh, you can kind of see that, I think. Can you? Yeah, you can. See how it has that purple shift to it? That's why I wanted to pair it with purple. I thought it would be really pretty. It's like a greeny purple duochrome, but it's like a mint green, which is interesting. This is like the Bulbasaur inspired one, and I fucking love Bulbasaur. I don't like frogs.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
And yes, I know for most people that is jail, but that is my truth, and I'm gonna live in that. I don't like frogs, they scare me, but I do love Bulbasaur, so make that make sense. I just had to share that with all of you. I have had second-degree burns on my face before, and they really fucking hurt. So this kind of skeeved me out. I was like, I feel for you, girl. I know that hurts. But I don't think she's deciding to do it. I'm pretty sure it's the demon that lives within her now that has decided we're putting our little fingies in the fire. So outside, we check back in with Roger and Helen. Well, not Helen. Remember, she's missing. But we check back in with our pirate friend Roger, who has decided to take a nap in the car because he's stressed. He's like,
I'm taking a nap here.
Okay, take a nap right there then.
Good night.
Totally fair, man. I get it. We actually do see Helen. Her body gets thrown on the hood of the car. Bye, Helen. Sorry for calling you boring. My bad. I think she's the first one to die, though, yeah? Yeah, it's Helen. The rest of them are still alive. Cool. I put the glitter on my eye, like, off camera, which I probably shouldn't have done. Well, it's more of a shimmer. Not to get technical, but I have to use my finger to apply it, and it's just, yeah. If you're working with shimmers, you really want to apply with a finger. It's just going to give you way more color payoff. I usually would use the NYX glitter primer, too, but I wanted to cut this with concealer, so that's why I did that, okay? It's a little funky chicken, but I'm not super mad at it. How funky is your chicken? How loose is your goose? If you were mad, we're gonna check back in with Jay now. If you were mad at him earlier for being kind of a douche to Judy, don't worry, he's gonna get his comeuppance in this scene. Jay is hanging out with Suzanne, right? He's kind of ditched Judy. He's going for Suzanne. He's like, yeah, she seems easier, so I'm gonna hang out with her. Sorry, but that's the skinny. That's what's happening. What Jay thinks is going to be just like some good old-fashioned coitus turns into a very gruesome nightmare in this scene. I loved it.
Makeup okay?
Are you crazy? What are you talking about?
Stop staring at me.
Damn it, Suzanne, your makeup is fine. Come on, what are you worried about? Ah!
Okay, Suze. Chill. Take an Ativan or something. No, but Suze does not take an Ativan. She instead decides to gouge Jay's eyes out with her fingies.
Stop looking at me. Ah! Damn it!
You good? It was very graphic. I mean, I didn't see that coming. It's like Hatchet all over again. Me with my terrible... Ooh! I hit my knee at the table. Me with my terrible dad jokes. Sufficient to say, Jay does die. His eyes are ripped out of his cranium. Bye, Jay. Total bummer, man. Maybe you shouldn't have been a dickhead. I feel like that's a good rule of thumb when trying to survive a horror movie. Just don't be a dickhead and you might live. Align yourself with the right people. I think that's a good rule of thumb in life in general. I'm getting all in my philosophical feels. Philosophical. So clearly the demons are taking over. We got Stooge, we got Angela. They're all super possessed, dude. Stooge kills Max and Franny. Their death is pretty boring, but at least they die doing something they love. Having sex in a coffin. Can't wait for their parents to hear about their death announcement. Yikes. Better death than Jay's, though. I mean, it's more boring, but at least less painful, maybe. I don't know. We've also got Roger. He's trying to find his friends. He comes back to the house. He's like, you know what? Helen's dead. I gotta figure something out. Clearly something's going on. So he goes back into the house, and instead of bumping into a few friendly faces, he bumps into Angela. So total bummer there. Except I don't think that's Angela anymore.
Welcome back, Roger.
Call me crazy, but she's looked better. She has looked better. Angela's going through it. I mean, she's a demon now, so that makes sense. I want to use this time to mention as well, the demon makeup in this movie, for it being 1988, the demon makeup in this movie is hella impressive, in my opinion. In my humble opinion, I think it's really good. It could have been a lot worse. I mean, we just watched Black Roses. Compare them demon-wise. I mean, they came out the same year. This is quite a bit more impressive than whatever that microwaved fucking Hungry Man dinner was in Black Demons. Or Black Demons? Black Roses. Oh, I did not mean to have that much color on the brush. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Don't turn pink, don't turn pink. Come on, don't die on me. Let's just blend her out. Blend this sucker out a little bit here. So I added a little like black. I still used Colourpop, just a different palette, but I added a little bit of black in there. I think that like deepens it a bit, just kind of brings it together. I'm just having a hard time seeing my makeup, so it's getting kind of hard to do it because I can't see and I don't want to just like suddenly turn on my mirror light. Anyway, not important. I really thought the special effects were ahead of their time in this movie. I was pretty impressed. Especially, I think the budget was like 1.2 million for this one. And I know that, you know, small loan of $1 million, that sounds like a lot. It's not. For a horror movie, 1.2 mil ain't shit. I was very impressed with this. I thought the demons looked legitimately creepy, and I was very impressed. Especially Angela, who is on the hunt for survivors. And we still have a few. So we've got Moody Judy, we've got Macho Man Sal, we've got Sleepy Pirate Roger. I think they're the only survivors now. Because, yeah, we lost Helen, you know, rest in peace. We lost the couple whose names are escaping me because they were boring. And then we lost Jay. Boring, no costume Jay. So they're all gone. Bye, guys. The three survivors, Prudy Judy, Sal, and Pirate Roger, they have all reunited. And it feels so good. Because they aren't alone anymore. They all know something crazy is going on. They've kind of seen the demons at this point. Actually, I don't know if Judy has seen them yet, but she's definitely like knows that something is amiss, awry, if you will. They have reunited. They're trying to find their way out of Hull House, but unfortunately, they run into Suze. Never fear, Sal survives. He's definitely having a better time than Roger and Judy over here, who get ambushed by our resident demon princess, Sweet Ange.
Judy, look out!
Enjoying the view.
Sucks to be them. So remember how I said Sal was having a better time than Judy and Roger? I lied. He definitely gets impaled, actually. So thanks a lot, Angela. He'll never get that stain out now. Bye, Sal. You were somewhat normal in a group of very strange individuals. I want to try to get my eyeliner on here too, just because I'm getting pretty far into the movie and my makeup is not there yet. Ugh. So in true whiny Judy fashion, she moans and groans her way off of the ledge that she's been hanging off of ever since her little confrontation with Angela. Judy does survive this, which I was kind of bummed about. I'm going to be real with you if you can't tell by now. Judy's not exactly my favorite character. I found her to be very annoying, whiny, prissy, unlikable. I just didn't like her. I didn't have fun with her character. I liked Roger. I was glad he was still alive. I was like, at this point, I was like, thank God, because I need somebody to root for. And Sal's dead now. So who am I going to root for? Judy? Absolutely not. Kind of hoping the fall would do her in. I kind of like this part also when they show Sal's grave. It confirms that he's a Sagittarius, which I thought was very fitting for his character. I was like, did they think of this? Like going in where they like, oh, we should make his birthday in Sagittarius season, so the character is canonically a Sagittarius. I doubt it, but it just made a lot of sense with his character, so I thought it was really funny. I was like, I like this. This pleases my Virgo brain. I also thought there was something goofy about how it like says born this day, died tonight. These are the things I notice. And for some reason, it was funny to me that it wasn't like died October 31st, 1988. No, died tonight. I know I have eyeliner on now and that's probably jarring, but I needed to get a move on a little bit here. I'm going to talk about the movie for sure, but I am going to do some makeup on screen as well, just so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm way behind on the makeup because I'm almost done with the film already, which I know is crazy because a lot of this video has been me just shooting the shit, but I'm actually almost done with the movie. So hopefully the story makes enough sense in between all the bullshittery that I've been spewing. This is the e.l.f. liquid contour. I have been pleasantly surprised by this stuff. I had never used it before, but I got it for this video because I didn't even have that much contour left. I feel like I've been working through a lot of my contours. I needed some liquid contour that was affordable and I looked it up and this one had really good reviews. It is a really good contour. It's very cool toned. So if you're looking for something that's cool toned or at least like a cool neutral, this will set you up really nice. It mimics the natural shadows of the face. Like, it looks good. I really like this one. I actually think that I might have used a little too much, but that's okay. Amidst all of this running away from the demons, Roger and Broody Judy over here hide in the basement, which is never a good place to go if you're running from demons or a killer or, you know, anything of that nature. They hide in the basement and then they start like laughing hysterically. Which is an interesting response to all of this. Probably not what I would have done, but sure, okay, go off, girl. Maybe it's just like a trauma response. They're just scared, so they just start laughing because they don't know what else to do. Honestly, as I'm talking about it, I'm thinking about it, and when I'm really scared, like if I go in like a haunted house or if I'm watching like Last Shift, which I might review. I know I've mentioned it already, but that one fucking scared me. If I'm watching something that genuinely scares me, which is rare, unfortunately, I'm desensitized, I have a tendency to giggle as well, actually. I will laugh because I'm so uncomfortable and nervous that I laugh. So now that I'm talking through this with myself, I'm like, actually, that makes sense that they would be laughing because it's traumatizing. It's a trauma response to just like uncomfortably laugh. I don't know if I'm gonna be, you know, sticking around a tee-hee at this house. I'd probably still be trying to find an exit, but I think that maybe they need a breather or something. Yeah, Ange and Stooge are still out here cracking skulls and they're just tee-heeing in the basement, which is an interesting choice, but hey, what do I know? I wasn't there. The Chuckle Fest gets cut short though because they've got company. Stooge and Angela show up. They are here to take revenge. And honestly, like, I'm so impressed by the demon makeup. Look at Stooge. He looks like he needs a bath, honestly. Just as the demons bust through the door, Judy lights them on fire with this gas pipe and a lighter that she found earlier. This gas pipe is from the crematorium. So she takes the lighter and like torches the demons. Honestly, that was a baller move and I didn't expect it from her. This was the only part of the movie where I was like, all right, Judy, I'm gonna give you your flowers. Okay, Moody Judy, I'm not mad at you. I can respect the effort there. She straight up fucking torches those demons. I was not mad at it. I had no complaints about this. Special effects with the fire were also very good. I mean, you know, I was impressed. But never fear, the night's not over yet. The demons, because yes, they're still around, they keep fucking with Roger and Judy. They're both still alive. which, you know, we love to see that with Roger. We enjoy his little pirate costume. He didn't have a ton of character development. Like, I don't really know much about him. I know that he's, like, scared and, like, seems to be intelligent. He knows that things are going on that are kind of wonky, and he knows that they're unsafe and they need to get out of there, and he kind of catches onto that quickly. He doesn't really have much character development, but that's fine. I honestly expected him to die way earlier in the movie because Helen died and they were outside and everything. I thought Roger was going to die too, but he didn't. He's still alive, and I love that for him. It was kind of a random character choice to keep him alive, like comparatively to some of the other characters I would have thought would have lasted longer. I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting off track. So the demons, they keep fucking with Roger and Judy, but it's not just Angela saying funny lines, which she does.
What's the matter, Judy? Don't you like your blind date?
But now we've got all of our friends coming back for some undead mayhem. That's right. We've got Jay, we got Franny and Max, we got Sal. I'm trying to remember all the names because there's so many names in this video. They're all coming back and they're all fucking with our survivors, Roger and Judy. I am also going to apply my lashes really quick, which is going to take a hot minute, so please hold. There we go. We popped on a lash. Look at that. Look at the difference. So lovely. Perf. It's crazy how much of a difference lashes can make. Just gonna pop a little bit of highlight in here. This is that Wet n Wild. I've had this for a really long time. It's called Blossom Glow. It's their Mega Glow highlighting powder. I've heard good things about the liquid too, but I had the powder. I've had it for so long. I saw good things about it and it was really cheap and I bought it, and it is a really nice highlighter. It's definitely a little pink, which I don't normally gravitate towards, but anyway, I just thought I'd mention it. Roger and Judy decide that their best chance at survival is going to be to climb up the wall. Because remember, there's no opening. Like, they looked. Roger and Helen, they were walking around that wall trying to find a way out, trying to find the gate that they got in through. The gate's gone, baby. Like, the demons have somehow figured out how to rig it so that they can't leave. So their only hope is to climb over the wall, which is covered in, like, barbed wire. I was like, damn, that's gotta fucking smart. Like, that, there's no way that feels good. But hey, beggars can't be choosers, and they are beggars in this moment. They need to escape, or the demons, much like Zeke in Bob's Burgers, they'll get you, girl. Hi. This eye look is definitely not as wild as I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to go like full maximalism. It's a little more subdued than I wanted to go. And yes, I realized that this is not subdued. This is literally so bold and bright and crazy, but I can't help it. They start climbing up over the wall. They're running up that hill, you know, running up that building. Stooge appears looking like a crispy Bubba Sawyer. And for a second, I really thought he was going to yank whiny Judy off that wall. I thought they were going to get her. They really made me believe that only one person was going to survive. And spoiler alert, that's not what happens. Roger leans down and kind of pulls Judy because he makes it over the wall, no problem. Judy's kind of getting got. He pulls her over the wall away from the demon's clutches. This scene kind of gave me zombie vibes too. It was almost like a marriage between zombies and demons. It was like a Night of the Living Dead if there were demons in it too. It was kind of fun. It was a little bit different, a little bit of something different. I don't know. A lot of these B movies I find are very formulaic and have the same things going on, which this one kind of was, but there were things about it that went against the typical formula of like a 80s B horror, I would say. It was actually kind of suspenseful. I loved it. And we get to see a little more in-depth this creepy demon makeup, which was really fun. Obviously, I loved that part of it, the special effects, the makeup, everything like that. And we really got to see that more so here. My favorite part though was Max is just chilling over here with like a little bit of blood by his mouth. Like a little bit of like white stage makeup and like a little blood in the corner of his mouth. And they were like, he's good. Demon, yep. They really went to town with like Stooge and Angela and all these other demons. And then Max is just over here like, yeah, me too, guys. There's no makeup on that face. Max was giving clean girl demon. So anyway, the sun comes out and it's a brand new day. The demons go back to hell where they belong. They kind of melt in daylight. It's very like, no. Roger and boring little prissy missy Judy make it over the wall and survive their night of the demons.
There it is.
I need to do my lips. This is our end sequence. We've got Roger and Judy walking home. They've clearly seen better days. And we get to see, remember the old man in the beginning that kind of opened up the movie in that bizarre way for us? We get to see him too. He's got some, as usual, very thoughtful insights to include.
Rotten pig trash. Been out all night, huh? Ah, they'll all rot in hell.
Charming guy. He seems lovely. The end sequence to this film is very bizarre. It's very strange. I don't really know why it was included. Forgive me, you're gonna be a little like, what's happening? But this is still part of the movie. This is the very end of it. It ends with the old man that just talked, right? That said like rotten pig trash or whatever. So he sits down in his house. He goes back home. He sits down in his house. His wife is like baking him pie for breakfast for some reason. This old man sits down to have a slice of pie that his wife baked for him. And he's kind of rude to her. Like you can tell it's definitely probably not a happy marriage. It's very contentious. He seems like a dick, quite frankly. So he sits down to eat this pie that she made. He takes a bite. Pie goes down his throat. And then you realize the apples that she used for that pie, he was carrying them earlier in the movie along with some razor blades, which like, okay, you're gonna pass those out to kids, you sick freak. What's wrong with you? Well, apparently he didn't get to do that because his wife, I guess, probably took them for this pie, used the apples in her cooking, making the pie, and served the pie to him. Whether she did this knowingly or not, I don't know, because, you know, this is like a whole other movie, it feels like. But yeah, so basically I mentioned this because we get a sick ending shot, some really cool gore of the razor blades and the apples slicing through this old man's throat. That's how the movie ends. This like mean old man is eating this apple pie and he gets his throat basically split open by these razor blades.
Like what? Bobbing for apples with razor blades in them?
Pretty sick gore at the end. I liked the idea of it, but it was like he had nothing to do with the whole movie. He was in the beginning and that was like it. I guess they just wanted to be like, oh, there's one more scare, surprise, which is fun and different, but it seemed a little unnecessary, but sure, why not? I mean, none of us liked the old man, right? He was mean. He was mean to his wife. He was mean to Snooty Judy. He was literally going to pass out apples with razor blades in them to kids. That's fucked up. We didn't shed a tear for him. I didn't. Anyway, that is the end of Night of the Demons. I didn't set my makeup. I'm going to use this little Milani Make It Last. It does have a very chemically smell to it. I will say that if you can't handle like chemically scents, would not recommend this setting spray. But I usually don't like strong scents and I can handle it. So maybe I'm full of shit. Anyway, friends, that's Night of the Demons. What do we think? How did we feel about this one? I thought this one was solidly good, actually. I really enjoyed this one. It felt very nostalgic to me. It was a great movie to watch on like Halloween or around Halloween time, like very October coded. Felt very comfy, cozy to me watching these teenagers get chased around by demons. Maybe a little formulaic, but there were things that went against the formula. I thought Roger surviving, I was shocked by that. I really didn't see that coming just because I felt like he didn't have much of a character at all. There wasn't a ton of character development in general, to be frank. I think we could have used more, but also there were so many characters in such a short amount of time that I think they did the best with what they had. As far as like Roger goes, I just was shocked that he made it, but I was happy about it. And I was mostly happy because I hated Judy. I hated her character. I thought she was one of the most annoying final girls I've ever... Would you even classify her as a final girl? She's not the only survivor, so no, I wouldn't. She's one of the most annoying, I guess, protagonists or main characters that I remember ever seeing in a horror film. I mean, it cannot be understated how much this character whines and cries. It was insufferable. But what are you gonna do? There were some other really interesting characters. I thought Angela was really cool. I wish they would have kept her around a little longer or that we would have learned a little more about her. I don't know. But her as a demon was also kind of badass and I loved that too. Her demon makeup was so fun too. And she had some great lines. Super funny, like puns. It kind of reminded me of Intruder, remember, with Bill. Oh, Bill. It wasn't really a glamorous concept. It was just a party with a bunch of horny teenagers that get chased around by demons. And I liked that. I liked that it wasn't pretentious. I liked that it wasn't trying to be some like meta, like big social commentary. It wasn't trying to be really anything. It was just very simple, straightforward demon kind of movie. I also felt like this was the type of horror movie that really would have creeped me out if I was a kid still. Like seeing some of the special effects and the makeup, Angela's demon makeup was a standout in particular, or Suze's reveal. That was really creepy. Suze had a lot of like crazy stuff going on. Like, what was up with her? I thought those things were both quite creepy, and if I was probably like, I don't know, 8 years old, it would have scared me. So love that. And that's not to say, you know, if this is something that scares you, you're an 8-year-old. I'm just, again, dead inside and desensitized to things like this. What do we think of the look? It's kind of fun. I don't know. I wanted to do budget beauty, but also not make it just like boring, beige, bland. How's that for alliteration? All the bees at Beauty and Bee Movies. I wanted to do something that was still fun and weird and kind of maximalist. Anyway, the only solid moment that Judy really had as far as like, you know, one of the final characters, I guess you could say, goes, when she torched the demons. That was pretty cool. I did like that. They really had focused on the lighter. I didn't mention it, but they had focused on the lighter earlier in the movie, and I knew it was going to come back in some way, and it sure did. So I'm glad that it did, and I'm glad that Judy had her little moment to shine. I just wish they would have made her either less annoying or that they would have killed her off. I would have been fine with her dying. I actually probably would have preferred it. I know that that's dark and kind of fucked up, but that's just how I feel. I can't help it. She wasn't my favorite. But I did like Roger, and I was glad he lived. Yay, Roger. I also thought the end with the old guy and the murderous missus was kind of weird. Like, why did we need that? That seemed like a short story that was, like, just tacked on the end there for, like, a final, like, scare. Which is all fine and good. It just didn't really make sense with the film. Like, that was very slasher-coded, and this film was more of, like, a demon. You know, it's the Night of the Demons. It could have just been left out. The end could have just been Roger and Judy, like, slumping home, looking hungover, but really they're coming down from demons, not, drugs. What do I know? That could have been the end and I would have been satisfied, but I'm still gonna give this movie a solid 4 out of 5 pumpkins on my little pumpkin scale here. I thought the special effects were great. The storyline was fun, easy to follow. It's something you could just throw on at like a Halloween party and everybody would be like, yeah, this is cool. I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5. I liked it, and I've watched it a couple of times now, and it's gonna go on that rainy day rewatch list. You'll find it nestled safely between Sleepaway Camp and The Fog, which, who knows, maybe I'll do that one someday too. I don't know if The Fog would be considered a B movie. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis was definitely a celebrity by that point, but I could probably make a case for it. Anyway, that is my summary of Night of the Demons, the 1988 version. By the way, there is a reboot. I think it's from like, you know, when they were rebooting everything, late 2000s. I feel like that's the era of the reboot, revamp, redo, sequel, prequel, all that good stuff. This is the OG. I would definitely recommend it. I have not seen the reboot. I don't necessarily think I need to, but if that's something that you guys are interested in hearing about, I could always watch it. Let me know what you think. Should I review something completely different, out of left field? Should I do a movie that's actually kind of scary? I mean, I say that subjectively. You might think this movie was scary, and that's totally fine. I haven't done one yet that I thought was genuinely terrifying, but I could. I keep mentioning Last Shift. Maybe I should do that one. That one really got me, so maybe I will. Let me know what you think down below about the makeup, about the movie, about the channel, about me. Is my commentary doing it for you? What do you think? Let me know if you want to see anything specific down below. If you're curious to know what products I used, they will all be listed below in the description box. Everything I used on my face today is $25 or less. As always, thank you for watching Beauty and Bee Movies with me, Pale Kale. And until next time, see you around.